Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Midgard Golf. And we're back out here for the back nine at Old Greenwood. A beautiful Jack Nicklaus designed course, and of course, the home of the Barracuda Championship on the PGA Tour. So, yeah, it's been a gorgeous round so far, and the back nine promises a bunch more of the same. So this is going to be great. If you're liking this content that we're throwing you from Nevada and California, throw us a like and subscribe if you would. You know we love your company, and there's a bunch more coming your way from this area as well. So, this hole here, starting right off with a par 5, 540 yards for us, and tipping out at 600 yards if you're playing it from the back tees there. So, bit of a dog leg left after this field goal of trees to get through off the tee box. Yeah. Apart from that, not a whole lot to worry about until you get up to the green, and there'll be two bunkers, one left, one right, in front of that green. So let's give it a rip and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are at the 11th hole. And just a little short par 4 it is, at only 270 yards for Pops and I, tipping out at only 345. So, yeah, not too shabby in terms of distance, but what it lacks in distance, it certainly makes up for in trouble, as you'll have water crawling up the right side all the way to the green, and from the tee box, that would be your line to get to the green. And then a bunker off to the left side of the fairway on the turn, as it's a bit of a dogleg right. And then another bunker off to the left side of the green. So, kind of a risk-reward hole, but boy, you had better have some pretty big cojones to go for this green in one, that's for sure, especially with how fast these greens are out here. Yeah. If you're planning on holding that green with the driver shot or whatnot, yeah, that's a losing proposition. So what am I doing here? I'm just hitting a 7-iron out there, which will probably leave me about a 64-degree wedge on into the green. So let's give it a rip and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are on the 12th hole, and another par 5 early in this back nine, and it will be the last par 5 of this round. So, a little shorter than the number 10 par 5, this one only being 493 yards for Pops and I, tipping out at only 551. But, of course, it's narrow. So, you've got that to deal with instead of the yardage. So that said, the hole snakes a bit to the left off the drive here and then back to the right for your approach shot on the green. Definitely gettable. However, if you do hit that draw-shaped drive off the tee box here, which is definitely what you want to give you an option at all, you're going to have a whole slew of bunkers between you and the green. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. And then there's not a whole lot of room behind the green, and definitely no room to the right of the green to miss that direction. The only direction you can really miss the green and be safe and happy is to the left of it. So, I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I'm going to take this big old driver and see what I can do off this tee shot. Let's check it out. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are at number 13. And no more short holes, says the Golden Bear, as we approach this 429-yard par 4, tipping out at 522 yards. Brutally long for a par 4, indeed. But the good news is the fairway, much more inviting than the last few holes, so that's nice. Only trouble you've got to deal with off the rip is those 3 bunkers that you can see on the screen. And then you'll have one more bunker next to the green and a few rocks right in front of the green to deal with, which will surely kick your ball in some direction you don't want it to go in if you happen to smack those. So don't do that. So what am I doing here? I'm pulling out the big old D stick. And I'm going to shoot at that hill that you can see right in the middle of the screen there. And I'm going to try to hit it with a little bit of draw shape and maybe catch a little speed slot action to give myself an obscenely long drive down this fairway. So let's give it a rip and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are on the 14th hole. So just a 408 yard par 4 this time, tipping out at 472. So still pretty lengthy as par 4s go, but, well, yep, not all that bad compared to the last hole, at least marginally shorter anyway. So dogleg right this time, and the trouble that you've got is obviously that bunker that you can see on the screen there off to the right side of the fairway. And then next to the green, you're going to find a bunker short left, and long right. And then if you happen to just dismally shank one as you approach the green, then there's a little baby pond up there to get your ball nice and wet. So don't do that. But other than that, not a whole lot to worry about. So what am I doing here? I am just going to aim right at that bunker off to the right side there and put a little draw ski on it to bring it back into the fairway. Pretty stock standard for the shot that I've got this day. So let's give it a rip and see what we can do on this gorgeous hole. Let's check it out. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are at number 15, and just a beautiful par 3 we've got here before us. I mean, just look at that scene. I'm betting that this has got to be the most photographed hole on this course. Yep, that's my wager anyway. But anyway, don't know who's going to take that bet. So, to the hole itself here. 171 yards it will play for Pops and I, tipping out at 221 yards. So, yeah, pretty lengthy as par 3s go. And obviously, you can see all of the trouble right there in front of you. Bunkers right, water left. And the messed up thing about those bunkers is if you happen to land in them, then you're going to be hitting out of it onto the green with that water in the backdrop. So, yeah, you know what that means. And as fast as these greens are, yeah, if you don't have enough spin on that, you could definitely roll through that green and get in that water. So don't do that. So what am I doing here? I'm just going to hit a 9-iron, and I'm going to try to send it as high up in the air as I possibly can and just stab it. So let's give it a rip and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are on the 16th hole. And just a picturesque way to get into the stretch it is indeed. I mean, yeah, looking off to the side and to the back here, yeah, just a gorgeous view of the mountains shrouded behind the tree line off the tee box. Oh, just a great way to start this stretch. So this hole itself here, 355-yard par 4, tipping out at 396, dogleg right. And the sneaky thing about this hole is you can actually see the number 17 green from right here straight forward. And you're going to be thinking to yourself, oh, that's got to be my green. Look at that. I can see it. No, you cannot see the green from here. And hence, it's a dogleg right. So, yeah. Take heed of that. Don't be fooled. Apart from that, yep, you've got a bunker off to the left, obviously, that you can see. Bunker off to the right, and then, yep, there'll be more bunker trouble all the way. So, yeah, that's really what you got to play with here. And then, of course, OB off to the right there. So, yeah, you've got some room to miss left. So I'm saying that's the good way to miss, apart from it making your approach shot rather lengthy. So, yeah, you've got that to consider. So what am I doing? I'm just taking the 2-iron out there. I'm going to try to hit a draw down the right line and bring it back into the middle of the fairway from there. So let's give it a rip and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are at the 17th hole, and in turn the final par 3 for this course, and a long one it is indeed. 182 yards it'll be for us, but it tips out at 230 yards. So, yeah, I mean, man, that's a 6-iron for me. That is brutal. Yep, especially with all the bunker trouble you're going to have to deal with. Yeah, as you can see out there, you've got one of them bunkers short right, and then you've got one that runs all the way up the left side of the green, and then another hidden one laterally to the right of the green as well. So, yep, that's what you're dealing with here, and then all kinds of native sage to deal with as well. So, yeah, if you can hit this green, definitely hit it. So what am I doing here? I am playing a 9-iron here, actually, going for the front of the green, banking on it rolling out a little bit if I hit that green, and getting to the back pin placement that it was this day. So let's give it a rip and see what we can do. right, ladies and gents, and here we are at the 18th hole, and just a gorgeous closing hole to this beautiful round out here at Old Greenwood in Truckee, California. Thank you so much for your company out here today. Please throw us a like and subscribe if you're liking this gorgeous content out here in California and Nevada, and we've got more coming your way very soon. So this hole here, we're playing it at 397 yards, and it tips out at 451 yards. So, yeah, pretty lengthy, also considering that it plays largely uphill pretty much the whole way, especially as you approach the green, which is seated nicely on a volcano for you, up on a nice, neat plateau, guarded by bunkers on all sides with very high lips. So, yeah, you don't want any part of that. So, what am I doing here? I'm just taking the driver and I'm just going to try to pound one as straight and as far as I can. And hopefully I can pull that off so I can just give myself a nice flip wedge to spin up on that green. So, without further ado, let's give it a rip and see what we can do.